Yeah, what are you guys doing? There we go. We're done.
You.
3, 2, 1.
What is this, a mutiny? Hello and welcome to another episode of Rolling with Reddit. We're turning back to the channel after a long trip. Crystal, where did you go?
I went to Greece.
You went to Greece?
Yeah.
And because of your Greece trip, I brought a Hermes staff to the set.
To match the souvenir I got
Yes,
you.
yeah, which I wish I brought. Oh my god. Maybe I'll include
another
a photo.
video.
Yeah. But jumping into things, I have two very special stories here.
Tell us.
Tell us. What do you want? Okay, here's the thing. I did this last time with Kel and Emma, where I gave you guys the option based on the author's username.
Oh.
So do you guys want to hear the first story by SRS Juiceman, or the second story by Ill Psychology 9918?
I think it's Juice Man for
Juice
me.
Man all the way.
Juiceman, you've won the lottery. The title reads, "That time I was deposed because I refused to run a game for my friend's ex-wife."
Oh. So they're a DM.
Yes. Yeah, because they would be running the game, yeah.
For my friend's ex-wife?
Yes. I'm really interested to see how the dots connected here.
Yeah.
The story reads, This story was primarily three relevant people. Myself, the forever GM, Adam, and Eve. Did you choose this?
Oh, he absolutely did. I'm glad we chose this one.
Amazing.
Has-been Hotel plays in my mind. TLDR. Oh, no, actually, I'm not going to read the TLDR. No, we'll come back to that.
Yes, we'll come back.
I have a dedicated group of 4 friends who have been gaming together since the 80s.
Oh.
And Adam has been with us the entire time, see, from the beginning, you know?
From the beginning.
Even as our gaming has grown more sparse with the demands adult life makes on our time, Adam met Eve, I'm sorry, and she wished to sit in on our game night. After watching a few sessions, she asked if she can play. It's always good to add more depth, so of course we said yes. And for the next 8 years, we gamed Star Wars, Walking Dead, D&D,
Damn.
and had a good time. And a good time was had by all. Just before the pandemic, I got the Alien RPG. I love the series and some of the players do too. I workshopped a game set on a space station.
Okay.
One of the players is a true crime junkie, so the plot would be a murder investigation and a real murderer that crossed paths with an alien.
So Among Us?
Okay, yes.
I love it.
Yes, actually, yes. I love that. I read up on serial killers and decided to have the human be more of a typical killer of vulnerable women, the poor, disenfranchised, etc.
Yes, very typical.
Yeah. We spoke about the campaign, laid out the very adult themes that would be present to make sure everyone was aware and could veto content. Everyone was cool, and I started building. You know, proper steps taken.
Yeah.
Good job on the GM here. I asked Adam, one of the better role players, if he secretly wanted to be the murderer, and he leapt at the idea. Everything was all set and ready, and then the whole world shut down thanks to COVID-19. Months later, we decided to try doing the game over Zoom. The group starts playing, but there is something subdued about the way Adam is playing. I figured it's probably the fact that we're all in different places and looking at screens, and trying hard not to talk over one another. It was fairly chaotic and hard to keep looking down at little video frames. I mean, yeah, there's nothing like playing in person.
No. Yeah, online games are hard.
And that's the whole reason this space exists, because I can't do online like that.
Yeah.
After the session, he asks if we can change the story so that he isn't the serial killer. I assume it's because he has realized that talking about it was different than actually playing it out, but I was wrong. Turns out his wife had cheated on him, and they were headed for divorce. He was so angry about it all that he didn't feel like he was in the right headspace to play a woman-hating murderer.
Fair. Response to
self-awareness, yeah.
Jeez. Adam, good on you, but like, Oh my god.
I knew it was gonna be like a COVID relationship test gone wrong, but I didn't expect cheating.
I, of course, canceled the game. Eve was angry. I forgot Eve was here. Eve was angry.
So Eve's in the game.
Eve's in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, he would have
Ooh.
absolutely killed your character first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
If
be
not
awkward.
for just like therapy.
Yeah.
She was adamant that everyone could get along and play the game. It was one of the most awkward conversations I've had in my life. She honestly believed that we could just carry on as though everything was fine. When I wouldn't budge, it got ugly. I received texts and emails harassing and insulting me. She even used the dark storyline plan for the Alien game to try to claim that I was targeting her specifically, with content designed to upset and attack her.
You're giving women a bad name. Jesus Christ,
Girl.
man.
And I like women so much.
Girl, please.
Oh God.
Something she tried to take to her lawyer to show that Adam had been emotionally abusive.
Excuse me?
That's
he
wild.
quit because he didn't want to be emotional about it. Excuse me.
I was furious, but also relieved that I have an audio recording of most of my sessions. Easier than taking notes, and I can go back and listen to RP conversations players have while I am doing something on the side with other players. Yes, I had to be deposed because I refused to run a game for my friend's ex-wife.
Yeah.
TLDR, husband and wife player have contentious divorce and the DM gets dragged into the legal fallout.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That's a
That's
terrible
crazy.
situation to be in.
Leave it to Adam and Eve.
For real.
God.
the OG problem couple. How could she possibly think that everything's okay after that? There's like no self-awareness there.
No.
Yeah, like, why continue to be in the game at all?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that just is asking for trouble.
I mean, here was the other thing. I need to go back up and read. And of course, we're going to get into some of the top comments here very soon. I don't know who GM has known longer. That's what I'm trying to find here, but I don't think it's
Adam.
mentioned.
He knows Adam.
Yes. No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Adam has been with us the entire
the wife only
time.
came in for 8 years. Adam,
Yes.
since the 80s.
Yeah.
You're right. So yeah, why? Oh, yeah, wild.
Yeah, of course he's
Wild.
gonna side with his lifelong friend, ma'am.
Yeah. Let's hop into some of these top comments. We have one here by Kata Ki, K-A-T-A-K-I-Y. That sucks the game got called off. Sounded very interesting, but yeah, probably not a great time for Adam to be playing that character.
Yeah,
Hopefully you and
poor
Adam are
buddy.
still on good terms, and after he's in the right headspace, he could enjoy playing with you again. As for Eve, goddamn, that is fucking abusive as shit.
Yeah.
And we have an update from OP, who's responded to this comment, because this post is a little older than some of the ones that we typically cover.
Okay.
It reads, Adam is doing well.
Yay.
We have been friends since high school, 25 years ago at this point. I know the past few years have been hard for him, but getting back together for in-person games has been great. He has this barbarian character he adores, and a 5e game that we're playing right now.
Nice.
Good. Good
Love
for
that.
him.
Love that. The top commenter, Katakia, replied, hell yeah, good to hear. Did you get around to playing Alien? And OP responded again, we have. That game is wicked fun and deadly. I ran a scenario where the players were operatives going to break a political prisoner from a rival company, but by the time they arrived, things were falling apart and the facility is in a rough shape because I said political prisoner was actually a quote-unquote host. Needless to say, there was only one survivor, almost two. One stayed behind to detonate the facility and killed the alien.
Oh,
Very
good story.
Love the pivoting as well. Came back and revisited it and still had a great time with it.
I love that.
The next story we have here is by Ill Psychology 9918.
The illest.
The illest. The mentally illest.
No, that's me.
The title reads, DM does literally everything that could go wrong.
Oh no.
I've been sitting on the story for a long time, and it's a long one, so strap in. For the record, this is labeled on Reddit as a medium story, so it's not a long story.
Okay.
But I was in this campaign, which was supposed to be like a Magitech setting, and after a while, it became obvious that the DM could have just written a novel for it because of how lore heavy and railroady that it was. Oftentimes, he would just have PCs be transported everywhere they needed to go for the plot's sake, and would have our characters be under strict orders because he made them join the military. Okay.
He made the characters join the military.
Interesting.
It became pretty obvious that it just became him acting out his military fantasies and not necessarily was about us having fun anymore.
Oof.
He would act angry when we didn't know the exact military protocol for handling things, and genuinely would fume if we wanted any autonomy for our characters. By the way, no, we did not initially go in expecting it to be a military-based story.
How do you not know any? Well, I guess you don't always know what you're walking into, right?
No.
It sounds like they had a different idea entirely, and James like, also, you guys are joining the military. Welcome to session 1.
It's not a bad story in itself.
Yeah, I could see several plots where like joining the military could be necessary, but
To expect.
yeah, expecting everyone to
everything
know.
about military protocols
what-
is crazy.
Yeah.
And to like fume and get angry about it. And here's the other thing too, to do all of that on top of like not allowing them to have their own autonomy.
Yeah.
Because like I could see a story where you're getting enlisted into a military being very interesting, but still having that like group dynamic of like, do we really align with this? Are we going to follow XYZ order? But like if you're literally just in a military having to follow orders,
Yeah,
you're
it's like,
not.
what was the purpose of joining the military for each of you, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need to follow that storyline.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. When we signed up for the campaign, we didn't know it was going to be a realistic war setting. So there was no safety tool set up and no content warnings. We got into some heavy material which should have been covered with a body horror warning.
Oh no.
Yikes.
That does happen in military situations.
Yeah?
Another issue is that most of us in the group are transgender and he is not, which is not the issue, but he originally got pissy when some of us wanted our characters to reflect our identity. And we had to find a loophole in his "it's not realistic" to convince the DM to let us make our characters trans as well.
What do you mean it's not realistic?
It's literally right in the room with you. It's happening all the time.
I mean, I think they don't let trans people into the military.
Is that really a rule? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not up to date on my politics. It was allowed at one point. I think someone who was in office who I hate their guts of took that out of the law, and I don't know if it made it back in yet. The loophole was literally, well, trans people are real, which is absolutely insane to have to tell someone. Yeah, exactly.
It's like the asexual story all
Oh
over
my god,
again.
yeah. I've card up above. Literally so many red flags. I took off a few months to know D&D is better than bad D&D until Baldur's Gate 3 reminded me that D&D was normally fun, and I went and found another group to play in.
Cool.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
You just downloaded
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate 3.
I haven't started it yet because I
As your
had
computer.
because I had
Shit.
computer problems with my new computer and had to send it back. And I have like this mindset of like I must play on new computer.
Tell me how you like it.
I will.
We're gonna start
Exciting.
a campaign on Baldur's Gate. You know what's funny enough? We could, technically.
Could
Yeah,
yeah.
co-play is coming out soon, right?
Crossplay.
It's
So you don't, it
crossplay.
doesn't matter what device you're playing on.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Stepping away from our Baldur's Gate 3
Sorry.
fantasies. Sorry. You got a real sneak peek of what we might do in the future. Who knows if I actually follow through.
Yeah.
We have some top comments here. One by I Frothing Sloth.
Nice.
Okay.
It says, they quote, "It's a long one, so strap in." _ Author proceeds to write the shortest post I've seen here in weeks, upvoting for the irony before even reading the story. Okay, copy that. Maybe it's not the best top comment for me to have read. Sorry.
That's cute though.
By Adventure Townie. It says, I'm honestly surprised you all stayed past the trans people aren't realistic portion.
Yeah.
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 As
That
a-
would have been a deal breaker.
Yeah, right? I mean, yeah. As a predominantly trans group of players, you had to know things wouldn't improve from that moment. Also just baffled that the DM thinking trans people aren't in this world bit was going to fly with the majority of trans people
A
group.
room of trans people.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not a very self-aware person.
Transgender people have served in the U.S. military openly since 2016,
Cool.
and there are no restrictions on military service by transgender people as of January 26, 2021. Okay.
So it was
It was taken out and then put
Pretty
back
recent.
in.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was taken out and then put back in. The military provides medical care, blah, 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 blah. Don't try to recruit me, please.
Okay. So, not unrealistic.
Not unrealistic
Yes.
at all. And those are all of our stories that we have for you tonight. Thank you all for tuning in, and be sure to check the description for the social media links to Emma and Crystal. And while you're digging around down there, go check out Misty Mountain Gaming. Get some dice, some accessories. They just had another brand launch for rugged leather products. Go check that out too. Yeah, I know, it's
I will.
some new things. Use promo code RPGFamiliar to save 10% off your entire order. I'm not currently aware if that applies to their rugged leather stuff. I think it's a different company, but check the description for details. In the meantime, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.